Now, I would like to talk with you about a topic that I perceive as very important, and I call it stop relying on techniques. Because the thing that I've noticed also on my journey so far when it comes to, diving deeper into Neville's principles, applying them, teaching them to others, and just being in this realm of philosophy of Neville's principles and manifestation, I noticed that a lot of people, they rely a lot on techniques, right? And it's all about techniques. And the problem with that is not the techniques itself. The problem is that people come to a point where they exhaust themselves because they constantly think that they need to do something and doing more techniques and doing more techniques. And there is something that I noticed, and also Neville talked about it, but it's most people are not aware of that, or they have completely forgotten about that, is that simply your wanting, simply you desiring whatever it is that you desire is enough to manifest it. Right? Let that sink in. Alone the fact that you want something is enough for you to manifest it. Right? Neville talked about this. He said that sometimes when he had a new desire for money or this and that, he just knew that it's going to unfold. He just knew that, he will be more financially stable. He just knew he trusted himself automatically, right? He didn't always utilize a certain method to persuade himself that now things are as he wants them to be, right? Sometimes he simply trusted that the fact alone that he has a certain desire means that he's going to manifest it, right? So he had this automatic belief, this automatic trust, this automatic conviction that this is going to happen without needing to do something to convince himself, right? Why would we do a technique to convince ourselves of something if we are already convinced of that thing, right? So you need to be very smart here, because when you, let's just say you are already convinced, you actually have trust and all is good, but then you think, oh, I need to do techniques all the time. I need to do this and that and affirm and script and visualize and hear a congratulation and imagine the end scene and use gratitude and whatever, then you're going in the direction of overdoing the techniques and exhausting yourself, although maybe you just have a certain baseline level of trust that is completely enough for you to manifest it. And I really hope that you know what I mean here. But it's something that I noticed for myself. If you look back, before you came across conscious manifestation, which was probably because either NSP situation, right? That is how most of us come across these teachings, or a money situation or a health situation. I mean, it's usually because of those three life areas that we come across Neville's teachings. And before you came across Neville's teachings, go back to your life. I want you to remember, the time before you learned about manifestation, and remember that I am sure there were some things that you easily manifested in your life without losing yourself in doing techniques all the time, without visualizing for that thing all the time, without assuming that thing into manifestation all the time, right? You just knew it, boom, and you trusted that, you had that confidence, you kept moving forward in life, and eventually you got it, right? And that is how we all manifested before. And then we think, when we come across manifestation teachings, we think that, okay, now there's more to it. Now it needs to be more difficult. And don't get me wrong, for some desires, obviously, right, we do not have a certain, let's just say, conviction or trust in them, or we're not persuaded that we are this, we're not persuaded that we get this, so we can definitely utilize a technique, right, that resonates with us to shift into an end state, right, to identify ourselves within, into already being it, into already having it. So that's the beauty of all of these methods out there. We can pick one that resonates with us and make an inner shift happen. But my statement simply is that sometimes you don't even need to do a technique, because alone the desire is coming up and you're already knowing, oh, I can get this, or oh, I will get this, or oh, I know that this is possible for me, and therefore I know that I will get this, right? This is sometimes also how we manifested back then, and this is enough. Wanting it is sufficient, right? Wanting it is also enough for you to manifest it, but you have to, every use case is individual. For some desires, the wanting is enough, right? And when I look back in my life, I manifested a lot of things. For example, before I founded Upgrade to Life, I had a software business with two friends, and I ended up hating it. That is why I left it. I felt burned out. I felt exhausted. I felt absolutely unhappy, and I didn't knew what to do with my life. And then I stumbled upon, also out of this deep dissatisfaction and also relationship problems, financial problems, I then stumbled upon Neville's teachings, and they, in a sense, yeah, they really saved me. But my point being is that also before I found Neville, I manifested a lot of things. And for example, a certain office space from that old business, right? You needed to apply for it. You needed to even do a keynote presentation in front of the owners, and they would then decide if you get a free space in their shared office space. And me and my partners, we just knew that, yeah, we will end up here. Like, no worries, we will get this. We're the best. Like, they will definitely take us. The only one out of, I think, 6 presentations, they would decide to, okay, you can be here, 1 out of 6, and we just knew, okay, like, we will get this place. So we had this, I don't know, we just had it within us, right? This conviction, this knowingness. So we manifested unconsciously in that case, and we got it. Or at one point, I wanted to go to Bali, and my parents, this was years ago, years and years ago, and my parents, they tried to talk me out of it because for them it seemed dangerous, and the long flight, and the unknowingness about the circumstances there, and just all of it, right? And I was like, no, I will get there. And I wanted to go there with a girlfriend, and also their parents said, no, don't go there, go to another place, go to Costa Rica, do this, do that. And I said, no, like, this is definitely where we go, because it's amazing there, and the images and the possibilities there and all of it. So I just persisted in no, we will be there. And I remember that also unconsciously. I imagined that, I unconsciously assumed that, I unconsciously already saw ourselves there on this and myself there on this island. And eventually we went there after a lot of months contemplating, going back and forth, but we went to this place, right? And by the way, this was also a girlfriend that I manifested back, but that's not for this talk right now. Yeah, so this is my take, right? On sometimes just because we want something is enough. We don't need to overdo techniques, because again, there's also a dangerous side of manifestation. Not really dangerous, because you can simply exhaust yourself. You can feel very like using a lot of effort and pressure. And guess what that manifests more of? That manifests more pressure and more effort. So we want to do, like Neville said, right? Attention minus effort. So bringing our attention in the direction that we want to go, but without pressure, without effort. Okay? So do let me know in the comments if that was helpful, if you can resonate with that, if you had experiences where you simply manifested things without, utilizing 5 manifestation techniques, but you just trusted it. You just knew. You just had the inner boldness. You were courageous. You had this conviction that this is going to happen, and it happened eventually, right? And so if that's the case for certain desires you have, then don't tell yourself that you need to do techniques, right? They're great supportive tools to make inner movement, but they are not needed, because eventually they're only tools, right? Let's just say you want to fix something in your sink, and you can fix it with your hands. You could also fix it with the screwdriver, but if you can also fix it with your hands, then you fix it, right? You did it. A screwdriver can help you to do it maybe a little bit faster, or to do it a little bit stronger or whatever, but you can still do it because you are the cause. Your I am. You are the operant power, right? And if you say so, it is so. If you go in that direction, you go in that direction. So we don't need any force here. So that is my take. If you want any more resources from me, as you know, I always link my 2 main resources, being my free masterclass and also my program if you want to work with me. And if that's not enough, then simply go to my website, upgradetoolife.com. There you will also find an inner circle community for only $50, which you can join and be surrounded by like-minded people who are also on this journey. And you will find like a mini version of my program that's only for $50 if that resonates with you. I look forward to speak to you soon, guys.